Hello investors, welcome to the channel talking about long-term investing in companies that pay a dividend. This is known as dividend growth investing. My name is Michael, and today we're going to start off with looking at how the market ended for the week and then look at stock futures. Just taking a quick look at the major indices for the week. For the S&P 500 index, it is up 3.04%. For the NASDAQ index, it is up 6.09%. And lastly, for the Dow Jones index, it is up 2.21%. The markets continue to rally again this week, and it's actually up despite more businesses continuing to shut down, unemployment continuing to rise, and more people are found to be infected by the global pandemic. Let's jump straight into information that can help people that are currently struggling in this economy. Since April 13th, the federal government has distributed stimulus checks to people eligible of receiving one. The majority of people who qualify for the stimulus check should have received them by direct deposit since Wednesday, April 15th. However, there were a lot of hiccups and criticisms on the results. Here are just some of the messy results that we have seen so far. Some stimulus checks were distributed to the deceased. According to this article right here, some stimulus checks were received by people who have already passed away. Luckily, the people who have received the stimulus checks who are currently deceased will go to the relatives of their most recent family members. Now, why is this happening? This is happening because on Tax Form 1040, there isn't a box which indicates that you are dead. In fact, people who are deceased must handwrite on their final individual tax return paper forms on the very top with their name and date of death in order to show that they are deceased and should not be counted for taxation. Next, according to this article right here, there are a lot of glitches when receiving the stimulus check. You can go to this article right here to read the FAQs and find out the answers to a majority of people's questions, but I'll highlight some of the following. A lot of stimulus checks were distributed to the wrong recipient, and some stimulus checks are deemed unfair because they are not proportional to the cost of living. For example, someone who is living in New York or Los Angeles might have a higher cost of living than someone who is living in Wyoming. As such, people are deeming that the stimulus checks are unfair, and I can understand the reasoning behind this. However, it would be very difficult for the government to proportionally distribute checks based on your living expenses. The government is already having a hard time sending out a fixed amount to millions of people. Adding any additional variables to the stimulus check will only cause delay and more problems. In addition, the government has sent people to the IRS Get My Payment tool. However, it has been malfunctioning for the past week. If we go over to the website, this is the website you would use to do a couple of the following. Number one, you would use this website to check your payment status. Number two, you would confirm your payment type, either direct deposit or check. And number three, you would enter in your bank account information for direct deposit if needed. This would be great for helping millions of Americans. However, the website has not been performing optimally. For example, this website right here will show you a payment status not available error, which can mean a lot of things. The IRS Get My Payment tool is showing an error for many people, and this error is a catch-all error, meaning that you are going to see this error if you are either, number one, ineligible for the stimulus payment, or number two, it could mean that you are required to file a tax return either 2018 or 2019. In addition, perhaps you have recently completed the IRS tool for non-filers and their system isn't up to date just yet. Lastly, 1089 recipients' payment information might not yet be available to the IRS. Those reasons mentioned previously are reasons of why so many Americans right now are receiving an error message from the IRS. However, do not fret, as if we look back at the previous article, this article right here shows us when we are expecting to see our stimulus checks. So according to this article, The first waves of checks are continuing to roll out. These are for people who have already filed their 2018 or 2019 tax returns with direct deposit information. This includes Social Security recipients who filed tax returns and included direct deposit information. This wave of checks will continue forward starting this week, so do not worry if you haven't received your checks by direct deposit. You can track the status of your stimulus check using the Get My Payment tool right over here from the IRS website. I'll link a URL below in the video description. This information right here that you get from the URL, you can leave your direct deposit information on the IRS website if you haven't given that to the government yet. The money should be deposited into your account several days afterwards. This is a better result than having to wait several months for paper checks. So please remember to leave your direct deposit information to receive your stimulus checks as soon as possible. Please note that the IRS is dealing with high volume traffic, so it may take a while to use the Get My Payment tool. Just be patient and try again in a couple of hours if you are unsuccessful at using the Get My Payment tool for the first time. And I say this because if you use it too many times or try to log in too often, you may be locked out of the system. Going back to this article again, if we look down even further, the next wave of checks are going to people who are considered Social Security recipients who did not file 2018 or 2019 tax returns. They will receive benefits through direct deposit. The third wave of checks will go to people who did not sign up for direct deposit. These checks are expected to go out as early as the beginning of May. These checks will be mailed in the form of paper. These checks are expected to go out at a rate of 5 million checks per week. These checks will go first to households with the lowest adjusted gross income because they need it the most and will go upward from there. These checks can take up to 5 months or even longer, so please file your tax returns. You can file your tax returns through TurboTax using the link in the description. The best way to get your stimulus check is to file a tax return for 2019 and include your direct deposit information, which consists of the account number and the routing number. Everyone should be filing a tax return in order to get the stimulus check as soon as possible. For those who haven't filed their tax return but are going to do so now, you're going to need the following. Number 1, a bank account with its information. This includes the checking number and the routing number. Number 2, your 1040 tax forms. Number 3, your social security number. And number 4, other general identification information. Those who do not include an account number or a routing number to his or her bank will not receive direct deposit. Instead, they will receive a check in the mail which may not be seen until perhaps the end of September of 2020, because the government can only print out so many checks for distribution. I will leave a link below for people to file taxes through TurboTax. Please use that link because if you use direct deposit with another company like H&R Block, then it will cause a delay to when you will receive a stimulus check through direct deposit because only TurboTax is working hand in hand with the government. In addition, there has been reported incidents that some of these companies are taking out money from your stimulus check before giving you the actual stimulus check. So they are giving you nominal fees for using their services. Again, I will leave a link down below for people to put in their banking information, assuming that they filed their taxes but did not put their banking information. The next thing that I want to cover is unemployment benefits. So as of this recording, many people, myself included, have yet to receive unemployment benefits from the states. This includes the additional $600 per week on top of what you are expected to receive in your unemployment benefits package. The reason for the delay in unemployment benefits is that the states do not have proper technology nor the capacity to distribute this much money to a wide range of people in a short amount of time. Many of these unemployment departments do not have the most up-to-date programming languages to compensate for new additions from the CARES Act. From my understanding and from what I've read, many of these unemployment departments use a programming language called COBOL. COBOL stands for Common Business Oriented Language and is considered to be a programming language designed for businesses to use that's often imperative, procedural, and object-oriented. This means that COBOL reads like regular English, unlike most computer language programs. In addition, COBOL is an archaic programming language, meaning it's old and outdated, so most of its format isn't used or supported by current systems. Anyone that programs in COBOL is most likely in his or her 60s, which is the age that you are nearing for retirement. So don't expect for unemployment benefits to be coming in anytime soon. Just be very patient and do your best to go on your respective state unemployment benefits website and fill out all the information that you need in order to receive your unemployment benefits as soon as possible. If you qualify for Social Security disability insurance, then you do not have to file a tax return in order to receive benefits from the stimulus package. In addition, according to this article, anyone who receives Social Security income benefits, then accordingly, the U.S. Department of Treasury announced that the Supplemental Security income recipients will be receiving the stimulus check by direct deposit, direct express, or paper checks. Basically, any manner you would normally receive SSI benefits. It is expected that the stimulus check should be received by no later than early May, but we will see. If you have already filed a simple tax return, then that's great, because you may receive your stimulus check earlier than expected. If you did not, however, file a simple tax return, then no worries, just wait for your stimulus check. Just a note, if you receive SSI but also have dependent children under the age of 17 and you haven't filed through TurboTax, then you will need to go through the IRS tools for non-filers in order to get the additional $500 stimulus check. Now, when you do this, you will need some basic information of the dependent, such as, number 1, their full name, number 2, their social security number, number 3, a mailing address, and number 4, the checking account and routing numbers of where you want to get your direct deposit. Lastly, if you're a veteran, then I personally thank you for your service. In addition, there has been an update by the government that those who are receiving veterans benefits as recipients do not have to do anything in order to receive the stimulus check. However, again, if you have a dependent under the age of 17, then you'll have to use the IRS tools for non-filers to get an additional $500 per individual. That's a dependent. So let's get into some parts of the news that's been affecting the global economy in the US. According to this article right here, a lot of people aren't able to pay their rent, their student loans, their utility bills, and there are many things that you can do in order to get you through the hard time during this financial crisis. For example, if you have mortgages that need to be paid, this article suggests that you contact your loan servicer to discuss your payment options. According to the CARES Act, there are 2 protections for homeowners with federally backed mortgages. Number 1, you can try to do a forbearance, which is a delay or a reduction in payment for up to a year. And number 2, there is a moratorium on foreclosure until May 17th of 2020. So what you should do in this case, you should go to see if your home mortgage is in fact federally backed, and you can do this either through Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. In addition, you can also look this information up using the Mortgage Electronic Registration System. If you, however, find out that your mortgage loan isn't federally backed, then you may be able to receive some other type of relief option from your loan servicer or from your state. The main important thing is that you have to contact your loan servicer in order to get help. In addition, let's say you don't own a home, but instead that you rent. In this case, it's a little easier. All you have to do is talk to your landlord about your payment and then work something out through that method. The CARES Act also has a 120-day moratorium on evictions and late fees for properties secured by a government-backed mortgage. This means that the CARES Act allows the borrower with a multi-family loan that's backed by the government to be eligible for forbearance for up to 3 months. Next, if you have student loans, then luckily you don't have to pay back any of your student loans and face interest rates to hike up until September 30th of 2020. This means that the government is suspending your student loan payments and waiving any interest fees until September 30th of 2020. This suspension is automatic and you don't have to do anything. In addition, defaulted student loans will not accrue interest until September. However, it is important to note that if you have a student loan that is a private student loan, then you have to contact your borrower because they are not a part of the government and they are not affected by the CARES Act. So if you have a private student loan, contact your private loaner in order to see if you can do anything to help with your situation for not paying back your loans. Next are people who use credit cards. If you have a credit card, you should contact your credit card company to see if they will reduce your interest rates, increase your credit limit, waive some fees, or delay reporting of late payments to the credit bureaus. If you're unable to make monthly payments, then reach out to the credit card company and ask what they can offer you. The best case scenario is that they would defer your payment without accruing interest and you will not receive a late penalty fee. For people who have car insurance, contact your car insurance company to see if you can get a refund. Some companies are offering refunds from 15 to 25% of their premiums. This is because since the pandemic lockdown has people coped up in their homes, they're not using their cars, so it doesn't make any sense for them to pay for car insurance if they're not going to use their cars. Next, you should contact your phone and utility service companies and let them know that you are facing hardships. Most likely, these telephone and utilities company will not terminate their services for you as long as you contact them and tell them that you're unable to pay bills. However, you do still have to tell them that you are unable to pay in order for them to waive these fees. Lastly, the tax due date for the United States has been moved from April 15th to July 15th. So this means that your 2019 tax returns do not have to be filed until July 15th. However, it is important that you file your taxes as soon as possible in order to receive the stimulus check. Again, you can do your filing through TurboTax, which I will leave a link below in the video description box for you to use. So, we're done with the news for now. Let's take a look at how my portfolio has been performing this week. So this is my portfolio, and if we take a look at here, overall, it's down about 33.93%. However, let's take at the past year of how it's been doing. For the year, it is down 30.86%, which is a loss of about $1,500. For the past quarter, it is down 23.71%, which is a loss of about $2,332. For the past month, my portfolio is actually up 9.34%, which is a gain of about $700. For this past week, my portfolio is down 0.09%, which is a loss of about $7. And looking at the past trading day, my portfolio is actually up 3.51%, which is about a gain of $280. So not bad so far. My portfolio is doing pretty alright. It's quite in line with the overall major indices. However, the main important thing that I care about with this specific portfolio is this number right here, the earned dividends. This earned dividends number is increasing over time. Just in the past day, I earned about $1 for not having to do pretty much anything. For the past week, although my market gains is actually down, I'm up in terms of the gained dividends. I earned about $6 for not having to do much of anything. The past month, I'm up $27 in terms of dividends. The past quarter, I'm actually up $100, which is 3 times more than what I earned in a month. And for the past year, I've earned over $200 worth of dividends. This dividends number is money that I didn't have to put in effort in order to earn. I gained this amount of dividends just by passively investing in companies that pay me a dividend over time. And that's the wonderful thing about dividend growth investing, is that over time, although it first starts out really small, the earned dividends over time, it can turn into a larger and larger number and give you greater and greater results. The only thing that you have to do is keep with it and don't worry about the market gains or the market losses. Focus on this earned dividends number right here. So now let's take a look at what activity has been going on in my portfolio. So looking at the activity of my portfolio this week, it had one trading day where it bought $11.91 from Gladstone Commercial Corporation. That's money that I didn't invest into this portfolio at all. It was simply generated by the dividends from the companies that I own and then reinvested into my portfolio. Just looking at this past week so far, I earned a decent amount of dividends. Looking at over here, I earned 34 cents from Loan, $3.01 from Occidental Petroleum, 35 cents from Realty Income, 4 cents from Republic Services, 1 cent from Stag Industrial, 5 cents from Ecolabs, 25 cents from Sussex Property Trust, $2.20 from Federal Realty Investment Trust, 29 cents from GCI, 8 cents from Illinois Tool Works, 26 cents from Leggett & Platt, 5 cents from BCE, 5 cents from Blackstone Mortgage Trust, 23 cents from Cardinal Health, 64 cents from Cincinnati Financial Corporation, 10 cents from DTE Energies, 80 cents from EPR Properties, 47 cents from Rio Tinto PLC, 2 cents from Thermo Fisher Scientific, 3 cents from Medtronic PLC. So all these dividends that I've earned right here are a result of me buying into companies that pay a dividend for the long term. None of these companies have cut their dividends. Instead, they've increased it over time. That's known as dividend growth investing. Investing in companies that pay you a dividend over time, and they continue to pay you even more for holding that company. I bought shares in all of these companies because I felt that they were at a good price for me to dollar cost average into my portfolio. These dividends that I earned are a result of me owning shares in each company. This is money that I did not have to put any effort into earning besides clicking a few buttons to buy shares. Essentially, I'm earning money while I sleep. This is referred to as passive income. Earnings which are derived from an enterprise like a rental property or a company which require little to no effort to earn and maintain. Although these amounts may seem small, every little bit helps and will eventually snowball into something bigger through compounded interest. So that concludes the update portion of my portfolio. Thank you so much for watching my video until the end. If you liked the video, then please give it a thumbs up, as it will help the channel grow immensely through the YouTube algorithm. If you have any comments or questions, then please leave them down below in the video, and I'll do my best to personally address it either in the comments or answer it in future videos. Again, I greatly appreciate everyone watching my videos, and I hope to speak to you all again very soon. And just a reminder, make sure you file your tax returns in order to get your stimulus checks. Thank you, and have a great one.